name's Shayla Olafson, and I'm the secretary for the Kindersley Youth Committee. I couldn't be at the community showcase today, but I'm excited to share this video with you. My platform is gender equality. I focus on double standards and gender role aspects of gender inequality, but I'm also an advocate for sexual inequality. Gender equality is something that is important to me because growing up a woman in our society seems to dictate a lot of my life choices. Now, I'm not saying that men don't face gender roles and stereotypes. Men face stereotypes as much as women do. I just like people to stop assuming that we should act a certain way or do a certain thing because of their gender. An example of girls being victims of gender roles is that girls should cook and clean all the time. And an example of guys being victims of gender roles is that guys have to be the breadwinner of the family. Women typically are seen as less powerful than men, and I aspire to prove these people wrong. Please watch the following videos I have put together about gender inequality.
The rumors are true. What they've been saying about me? I have to come clean. I, Lacey Green, am a feminist. What? You're a lesbian now? Man-hater? Hairy armpits? It ain't so. It's gonna be okay. Those are just stereotypes. I think that feminism is both kick-ass and super important, and here are a few of my reasons why. I'm a feminist because girls are taught in public school that once she has sex, she'll lose a part of herself. Because women who have a lot of sex are sluts while guys are studs. Amanda Todd, Felicia Garcia, Charisse Morales, because of the sexism that drove them to end their lives. I'm a feminist because I was told the first time I had sex would be painful and bloody. I was terrified. Because 1 in 4 young women is assaulted and society still asks, what was she wearing? Because male victims of rape aren't believed since guys want sex all the time anyway, right? Because of catcalling and street harassment, because no, it is not a compliment. I'm a feminist because my first boyfriend sexually assaulted me, and when I went to my friends for help, they called me a slut. Because when I speak at universities about the absolute necessity of consent, there are people in the audience who laugh. Because boobs are used to sell everything from burgers to soap, but don't you dare breastfeed out in the open. Because this shocks and terrifies people. I'm not even kidding. You should see some of the looks that I get. I'm a feminist because of how much pressure we put on girls to value their appearance above everything else. Because of labiaplasties, boob jobs, hymenoplasties. Because our culture considers it normal to cut off part of an infant's penis. I'm a feminist because male orgasm in the movies is rated PG-13, while female orgasm is rated R. I'm a feminist because in 2013 there were over 700 bills proposed to regulate a woman's body. And for men, the rightful number, 0. I'm a feminist because the political body making decisions about my body is over 80% male. Wow. Because men occupy the top rungs of not just politics, but every industry in the world. I'm a feminist because jobs! Women only hold 1 in 4 STEM jobs. We own 6% of TV stations, 5% of executive positions in the media. Because when I was younger and I took on a leadership role, all the adults in my life said, you're being bossy. And let's not forget that sneaky little pay gap. By the time the average woman reaches 60 years old, she will have made $450,000 less than a man in the same exact position. That's like a fancy ass house, a truckload of chocolate bars, or 10. And hell, I'm not even surprised by it. At my first job, I learned that my less qualified male coworker was making almost twice as much as me. I'm a feminist because the media told me that women are my competition, destroying my friendships with them for almost 20 years. Because gender roles! Because that one-size-fits-all binary that shoves us into boxes and erases who we are. I'm a feminist because in 10th grade someone called my best friend a pussy and it tore him up for weeks. And I realized the worst insult was to be compared to a woman. Because boys are shamed for being emotionally open, because that's a girl thing. And womanhood is weak. Never mind the fact that it was most likely a woman who pushed your body out of her vagina. I'm a feminist because my father never once did the laundry, made dinner, or cleaned the house. When I suggested he help, my grandpa told me I was out of my damn mind. Wow. Out of my mind? Am I taking crazy pills? I'm a feminist because people still say that asexual, bisexual, and trans folk don't exist. I'm a feminist because same-sex marriage is a no-brainer. Because in 34 states, it's legal to discriminate against someone who's transgender. Really? I'm a feminist because representation, it matters! And LGBT folks, women, and particularly women of color, hardly ever have their stories told on screen. I'm a feminist because I believe that the world should be safe for girls, everywhere. Because half the girls in Yemen will become child brides. Because 65% of Brazilians believe that a woman who dresses in revealing clothes deserves to be raped. Because in Saudi Arabia, women still can't vote or drive. I'm a feminist because in world, every day, women's bodies are used as a battleground in wars started by men. Raped, beaten, sold into slavery, mutilated, burned with acid. I'm a feminist because when I dare to get pissed off at injustice, I'm just another angry feminist who's on her period. I'm a feminist because of the reality that there are people who would take these words more seriously
if they are coming out of my mouth.
Most of all, I'm a feminist because I believe in gender equality. And my eyes are open. My mind is active. I know we're not there yet. Thanks for supporting me here on Sex Plus Babes. I would like to know, are you a feminist? Tell me why or why not down below, and I'll see you next time. Mwah.
So I was reading comments on one of my videos on my Nicola Foti channel, which is a beauty channel, and some of you may be saying, why do you have a beauty channel? You're a boy. And that's the exact point of this video. So these are the comments. Why? Why do boys call other boys girls when maybe they're not as strong as the other boys or they're doing something feminine? And why is that an insult? Does being a girl make you less of a person? Are girls just inferior jokes? And it's not just the boys. Girls use it too. So please stop. Stop perpetuating your own discrimination. Would you let your son play with dolls or your daughter play with toy trucks? Would you let your son wear a pink shirt if he wanted to or get your daughter a football? And if you said no, why not? Because kids at school might make fun of them? Because they're not adhering to societal gender roles? Maybe as parents we should start educating our children otherwise. It's been almost a century since, at least in the United States, the women's suffrage movement succeeded in passing the 19th Amendment so that they could vote. Something I learned while looking up the exact date is that Mississippi didn't ratify this amendment until 1984. That's the year I was born. That's crazy. Mississippi is widely considered the most religious state, so it seems that they were just following orders. In the first book of Timothy in the Bible, it says, I do not permit a woman to teach or to have authority over a man. She must be silent. Of course, not everybody follows that Bible verse, but it's in there, and the elected officials in Mississippi at the time obviously did, so that's all it took to oppress an entire group of people. On the flip side, I saw Hal Sparks talking about how you need the balls to do something. But in reality, the testicles are the weakest part of a man. And do you really need them to be able to do something? Since only men have balls, it suggests that girls will never be good enough to do things that men do. Why not let your daughter dream of being a firefighter? And similarly, why not let your son join the ballet if he wants to dance? This just proves to me that women still aren't considered equals, as much as our society may have progressed, and as much as we, as a global culture, think we may have. And it also appears that women's struggle is pretty close to the gay struggle. Aside from those who use religion to oppress gay people, there are others who just think gay men are feminine, which apparently is a negative quality, and that, you know, gay people don't exactly fit into gender role norms. And so they see them as less than men. What is less than man? Is man the top of the totem pole? I mean, just because you're a straight white male, that makes you better than a gay black female? This I don't understand. And even within the gay community, there are masculine gays who think they're better than more effeminate gays just because they're closer to society's ideal. I've known gay men who've acted feminine since they were little. Do you think they were just jumping on a trampoline one day and actively thought, hey, you know, I'm going to start moving more fluidly like girls do, and maybe I'll change my voice so it's higher somehow? No, that's just how they are. And what's wrong with that? And what's wrong with tomboys and girls that tend to like boy things? I'm pretty sure you know my answer. It's nothing. Nothing's wrong with it. And guess what? Your genitalia doesn't necessarily determine what gender you are. Surprise, there are transgender people in the world who may have been born with a penis, but psychologically in every other way possible, they're female. And likewise, there are people who are born with a vagina who have an internal sense of being male. This isn't weird. It's nature. And you have no right to discriminate against these people. What, just because you have a penis and you feel like you should have a penis, so, you know, you're better? And yes, I said penis and vagina. They're not bad words. They're body parts. I'm a feminist because I'm sick of the word girl being an insult. And I'm tired of pink not being a boy's color. And I'm tired of gender roles that restrict a child's ability to grow into who they are. So why don't we change it? Why don't we stop feeding into this archaic way of thinking and open our minds? Whoever said a thought couldn't change the world is sorely mistaken.